probably heard the phrase, it's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. Well, our very own weekend weatherman, Zach Brown, decided to venture out into the heartland to seek out those people with the dirtiest jobs he could find. He begins his special series spotlighting the art department at Truman State University to learn the art of making clay.
A clay vase, where does it come from? Well, it starts out like this, just a mushy ball of clay. But do you make this, or do you buy it as Play-Doh or clay in a store? Some people make this. How do they do it? Well, that's what I'm here to find out. I'm here with Wynn Wilbur. You're a ceramics professor here at Truman, right?
I am.
And tell me about this. This is clay, and you make this, right?
We do. I mean, clay does come from the ground initially, but we actually take that clay and we mix it with other things to make it work better for us. We want to shape it in a certain way, or we want it a certain color, and so we take clay and we mix it with other kinds of clays and other kind of materials that will help lower its firing temperature or whatever we need it to do, and then we come out with this and turn it into the nice things.
It's almost like Play-Doh in effect.
It is.
and how do you make this?
Well, we start out with old clay. We always recycle our old clay that has failed in some way or has just, we are always creating scrap because we have all kinds of different processes that the clay goes through. So we start out with that. We get it really, really wet and sloppy, and in fact it's called slop. We dump it into our clay mixer, and then we add all the other dry ingredients with it.
We start by pouring the old clay, called slop, into the mixing machine. Once enough is added, it's time for the dry ingredients. We had to put on face masks to protect ourselves from the dust that flies around. That's silica. It's a mineral that's basically like ground up glass, and it's going to help the clay particles become more solid. Mixing clay is just like mixing a cake, except we don't get to eat this mix. This is stonework clay. That's going to add a nice color to the clay once it's fired in the kiln. The last ingredient is pre-shrunken particles of clay called grog, which will help hold everything together in the mixing process. Everything is mixed together for about 10 minutes.
So we need to dig it all out of here.
How do you dig it out of there?
There's no easy way. Just muscle it. You just got to scrape it out like this.
That means these.
Exactly.
We unload the clay and transfer it into something called the pug mill to make foot-long logs of clay. Students purchase the amount they need for class from the professor, and art student Kayla Goff decided to try and teach me how to make something. First, we wedge the clay to get the air bubbles out. And then we pound it into a ball. Then it's time to head to the wheel and try to hit the bullseye.
Just put it down. Turn my wheel on.
It's not really centered, does it matter?
It'll make it harder to center it whenever we're making it. So
I should do it again?
Yeah, or just move it to the center. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't really move. I'll just pick it up and do it again. No big deal, right? Shh, she's not around.
Kayla's trying her best to teach me what to do, but it's just not working. Mine may not look like much compared to Kayla's, but come on, give me a break. It's my first time working with clay.
Standing here with my little vessel compared to what's behind me, I've got a wedding cake, a dog, ball and chain. Now, I like the duck. I don't think I am in any caliber as these folks.
This is Ceramics 1. So if you took my class, you would be doing this sort of thing very quickly.
These are beginners?
These are beginners, yeah.
Boy, do I feel way less than a beginner.
They've had, 2/3 of a semester, so they've learned a huge amount in this amount of time.
All the clay we made is going to help your students in some way, shape, or form, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's great. And you're welcome to come back every week if you'd like to help us with it.
I appreciate it. I have clay all over my shorts and my hands. I think we need to go clean up, and you do too.
Yeah.
So, Lynn, it was very nice to meet you. Pleasure to meet you, and you're very dirty.
Thanks, Zach.
With your source for local news, I'm Zach Brown.